The thing that I have found really offensive, outside, of course, the first order stuff of like the full-on massacre and genocide of Palestinians, in terms of what I find offensive in the conversations in this country, claiming that there's no difference between Jews and Israel, that inherent and essential to your identity as a Jewish American is a unadulterated support of Israel. I've seen it, frankly, from relatives of mine. Seen it from various commentators online, Jewish, some actually more Gentiles than Jews, at least online, I've noticed, are willing to sort of say, like, if you criticize Israel, you're anti-Semitic.
Are you saying that there are a lot of people who have their own anti-Semitic feelings who are now claiming it's the left that is anti-Semitic because they are wanting to end the genocide, and people on the right are implying that dual loyalty is a prerequisite to being a good Jew?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a pretty good argument. One of those people also turns out to be Donald Trump. And here is Donald Trump. Also, he's also a liar, too. Surprise.
Put it to you very simply and gently, I really haven't been treated right, but you haven't been treated right because you're putting
Let's
yourself
make
in
it clear. He is addressing the Israeli-American Council Fighting Anti-Semitism event.
Okay, and we should even be more clear on that. This is like the 6th or something anti-Semitism event this open anti-Semite has headlined, including at his golf resort in Bedminster. This is so he can get money from Zionist donors that want Israel to keep committing a genocide.
Yep. Go all the way to the beginning, please.
Well, put it to you very simply and gently, I really haven't been treated right, but you haven't been treated right because you're putting yourself in great danger, and the United States hasn't been treated right. So if I don't win this election, and I've been very good, they say Trump's been right about everything. I've been right about a lot of things. Even Ted will admit that. I've been right about a lot of things that a lot of people said, no, that won't happen, but a lot of bad things happened, and some good things I've been right about too. And I only want to be, so I'm not going to call this as a prediction, but in my opinion, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss. If I'm at 40%, if I'm at 4, think of it, that means 60% are voting for Kamala, who in particular is a bad Democrat. The Democrats are bad to Israel, very bad. They'll never change because they have a section of their party now which has become amazingly and quickly very powerful vote-wise. I mean, Chuck Schumer is a Palestinian. Who would have thought that was going to happen? What the hell happened to him? I saw him the other day. He was dressed in one of their robes.
One of their robes?
Well, he's trying to say keffiyeh.
Don't think that's true.
Okay. No.
I don't think so.
First off, let's also be clear. Donald Trump ain't getting 40% of the vote. Even that is a fantasy. He is not getting 40% of the Jewish vote in this country. That's not happening. The vote will be more or less between 70 and 75% of Jews, like they always do, will vote for the Democrats.
One of the most reliably Democratic voting blocs, like Big D Democrat in this country.
Every year, we are told the Republicans may pick up more Jewish vote. Now, he may pick up a percentage point. And I suspect that would come, frankly, if he picks up a percentage point or two, that's going to come from New York.
We were just talking about this, where there's more conservative religious Jewish communities in like Brooklyn and
the pipeline
other
from
areas.
Brooklyn, I should say, to Israel is pretty big. And there's a couple of other communities around the state. But he's not going to get 40% of the vote. So, on behalf of the good Jews, I would say you're welcome, and I will accept the responsibility in the event that Donald Trump loses. I mean, that I'm willing to do that. The other thing is that, like, remember, this is a guy who is using the concept of being a Palestinian as a slur, there is just no argument that in terms of Palestinian suffering, Donald Trump will be worse. There's just no argument. And I don't have to talk about what's in his heart or the demeanor, although, or his rhetoric. It's also his constituencies. I did Mark Lamont Hill's show. People should check it out. We had talked about this clip in particular. He's like, Barack Obama could never say something like that. Neither could Kamala Harris. And there's a reason why you can't say Chuck Schumer is like a Palestinian. You can't use a Palestinian as a slur amongst Harris, if you're a Harris or you're a Democrat. And the reason why you can't, national Democrat anyways, folks like Gottheimer, who knows? But
Right.
The reason why you can't is because her constituency she relies on a constituency that is far more sympathetic to the Palestinian people and accept their humanity than the people who are voting for Donald Trump. That's just the fact. And that constituency may not be willing to help the election of Donald Trump happen because they're mad at the Biden-Harris policy right now towards Gaza. But they're going to bring far more pressure to a Harris administration. Will it be successful? I don't know. Will it, fundamentally alter the way that the United States relates to Israel? I don't know. Will it help at the margins? Probably, at the very least. It will probably save some Palestinian lives. It will probably mitigate some Palestinian suffering as a baseline. It will probably inhibit the annexation of the West Bank because of the constituencies. That's it. Forget what's in their hearts or what their positions are or who else is working on them. There are certain political realities that are there. I can tell you, the president doesn't stop looking at the polls once they get elected. That's not the way it works.
And it's not just that Harris has a constituency that's more sympathetic to the Palestinian people, which is why we've been saying that she can be pressured. It's also that the Republicans have a constituency of evangelical Republicans who have this
that go the absolute opposite
way, that have this messianic view about Israel because they want,
that have a hostility towards the Palestinians. I mean, that's why you could say
yes,
this is like an Andy Borowitz joke. Don't like Chuck Schumer, don't like Palestinians. What if they were the same thing?
So when we talk about Zionist mega donors and Zionist influence, it's not just the pro-Israel or Jewish mega donors in that room with Donald Trump. It's also the entire evangelical base that's behind it as well. This is the guy that said there are very good people on both sides of a neo-Nazi rally in Charlottesville where they were chanting, "Jews will not replace us." If you think this dude cares in any way about anti-Semitism as he pushes anti-Semitic tropes, I've got a bridge to sell you.
Hey folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do it every day at 12 p.m. Eastern for about 2.5 hours. We even take phone calls. You should check that out.